Hi there everybody. My name is Sivan Pillay. I'm a chef and principal of Cape Town Hospitality School. We are based in the southern suburbs of Cape Town. I'm here today to bring some awareness about cholesterol and the intake and management of cholesterol with regards to heart attacks and strokes. Today we are here to demonstrate to you a basic meal of which the ingredients are very simple and not expensive. These things aren't expensive. Most of you guys already have it at home. I'm sure of that. It's basic stuff like masalas and dhania, coriander, these kinds of things. It's a fish dish. Fish is easy to find. It can be done as a single portion or for a family. There's nice big yellowtails you can pick up at the harbors. Very easy to get, very easy to make, non-expensive, and it's a beautiful, healthy meal. Much better than deep fried fish and chips. Although a good fish and chips is always, there's a place for that too. But look, as far as cholesterol is concerned, we need to think healthy, we need to be aware, we need to think longevity. Okay, so look, there's lots of information about cholesterol. We've heard it over and over. It gets boring, it gets monotonous. There's big words like polysaturated and monosaturated and triglycerides and all these kinds of things. It is big words we don't need to know. So I'm not going to bore you with all these things. What I'm going to do is tell you a few hints, a few tips of what you need to keep in mind moving forward. So with keeping cholesterol in mind, when you're having braai chops and all these kinds of stuff, and you got to cut the fat off, keep your meats lean, keep your pork lean, cut the fat off. Yes, the fat is the best part. It is absolutely beautiful, especially the crackling, but it is going to do damage in the long run. If you think about it, consider when you're frying stuff, say butter, when it's heated, it's liquid, easy to go down, right? As soon as it gets cold, it solidifies. Think about that when you're putting it into your body. Putting it in, it's warm, it's liquid, it's not a problem. You can get a bit of flavor, but it doesn't really feel that bad. As soon as it's in your body, it solidifies, and that blocks the arteries. Then it prevents circulation, blood, oxygen, all these kinds of stuff that creates strokes and heart attacks. So, look, the better ways of preparing meals, braaiing is absolutely brilliant. It's the best way of going. Grilling, roasting, dry roasting in the oven. If you've got one of these nice ovens with a convection fans in it, that your air fryer is absolutely brilliant. So the next step of this whole demonstration, this whole little video we're going to do for you, is I'm going to show you how to prepare a simple, cost-effective, cheap, nutritional meal that will help you in the long run with the cholesterol issues. You can still have your fish, you can still have your chips, your potato wedges, roasted potato wedges. I'm going to demonstrate to you how to do this in a healthy manner. No more oils and saturated fats. Okay, so right here we have basic ingredients that everybody has at home. We have some lemons, we have some beautiful masala, got locally at one of the spice shops in the southern suburbs. It has curry leaves and a variety of different spices. We have some garlic and ginger paste, which is easy to find. We have some garam masala, which is a combination of a lot of whole spices dried and then ground finely. Loads of flavor, loads of antioxidants. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant for flavor and for the body. We have some black pepper, salt. We have some tamarind paste, which always works well with fish. Tamarind paste, masala rubs, all these kinds of stuff, fish biryanis. This is what you need. This is the trick right here. It adds loads of flavor. We were talking about saturated fats. This is margarine. Margarines are better because it comes from vegetable oils. Unsaturated fats, much healthier. Okay, so I'm not saying it doesn't have cholesterol, I'm just saying it has less cholesterol, which is where you want to be. We're going to do that with a combination of the olive oil, again, extra virgin olive oil, and it's canola, it's a blend, right? Again, better than animal fats, better than saturated fats. It is unsaturated, it is much better. It does not solidify as much as the normal saturated fats or eating the skins and stuff, chicken skins and all these kinds of things. We have some fresh dhania, coriander, and we got some sliced onions. We're going to make a little bit of a sauce to go with it. The fish on the other end, the fish we're going to use today is a basic, simple, easy to find fish here in Cape Town. It's called the silver. If you get it this size, it's enough for one person, or if you're a big eater, 2 people. Although this is a beautiful, well-flavored, it's a great meal, right? So you might even just finish the whole thing on your own, or at least have some leftovers to take to work tomorrow. So we're gonna get started on this. I'm gonna show you how to prepare this meal, and yeah, we'll take it from there. So right now, what I'm doing first is I'm going to preheat my oven. I'm going to preheat it at about 220. Look, this is a basic oven, it is nothing fancy. So for you guys at home who don't have a fancy oven, that is fine. You don't have a you don't need a professional kitchen oven, those big ones with the fancy fans in it and all these fancy buttons. You don't need that. This you can do at home with your normal, absolutely standard deep fry oven. Okay, so this is not complicated, it is not difficult, it is not expensive. So what we're going to do first, we're going to start off with the fish, right? So we're going to grab the fish. What we're going to do is we're going to take this silver, we're going to make slits in it. Okay, so the slits is there so that we're going to make a wet masala rub, as I mentioned earlier on, right? So we're going to get the masala rub, we're then going to massage it into the fish. Look, this fish, from your fishmonger, you can ask him to scale it, take off the fins, get it ready for you, yeah? Take out the guts, everything will be fine. Leave the head on, it's nice, it's a beautiful fish, it's attractive, and it's wholesome. It looks all natural, if you know what I mean. So what we're going to do is you make the slits, just basic slits, not too deep. You don't have to cut it right through the bone, just enough so that we can rub the masala, wet rub, into the fish to penetrate. Okay, so once we got that done, we're going to put it aside. Okay, moving forward, we're going to start with the masala rub. So the masala with the curry leaves, we're going to put into a dish or bowl. You're looking at about 2 tablespoons. Ginger and garlic paste, a teaspoon. Garam masala, half a teaspoon. We're going to put in a pinch of crushed black peppercorns. The same, you could use a grinder or just pre-do it. We're going to put in a pinch of salt, 2 pinches of salt, and some of the turmeric paste. Turmeric paste, lots of beautiful flavors. It gives a nice soury, I don't know, you got to try to really get to it. We're going to take some lemon, not too much. Just give a little bit of squeeze of lemon. Okay, get some moisture going there. And then, as I said, we're going to put in some olive oil. Extra virgin olive oil, sunflower oil, peanut oil. Any of these will work, yeah? All of these can work, it will help. Okay, we're going to take a spoon, we're going to give it a bit of a mix to create a paste. As you can see, it's a nice wet paste that we're mixing. Beautiful color, rich flavors, colors, aromas. If you could have some smell-o-vision, you would actually appreciate it a bit more, especially once it comes out of the oven, yeah? We're going to add a little bit more olive oil. Still a bit too thick, so we're going to get it a bit thinner. I want to put some water with that, give me a second. We're going to mix this up. All the flavors are inside of here already, yeah? So we got the masala, we have the curry leaves. What I'm also going to put in here is a little bit of dhania, a little bit of coriander. So I'm going to leave that on the side for a second. I'm going to get some fresh dhania, also known as coriander or cilantro. Let's get some of that. Just going to give it a rough fine chop. It doesn't have to be perfectly chopped. It doesn't have to be julienne or brunoise or any of these fancy cuts or terms. Just a rough chop. Anybody can do it. It's not a big deal, yeah? Fresh flavors, yeah? Fresh, green, beautiful, robust flavors. This is where you need to be. This is where you want to be. Yeah, right here. Beautiful colors, beautiful flavors, textures, all just absolutely lovely. So I'm going to move this to the side for a second. As I said earlier on, you do not have to use a whole fish. You can buy a portion of fish. You could go to your fishmonger. You could buy 2 pieces for yourself and your partner. It can be king clip, it can be hake, it can be whatever you want. Your favorite fish, mine specifically, kabeljo, absolutely beautiful fish. This works well with all fish. You can also do it with different kinds of seafoods like prawns and what else would there be? Calamari. There's loads of things you could do with this, right? So what I'm going to do now is we get to rub that in. So just take it, give it a nice healthy portion, a nice healthy rub. We're going to then do the one side, we'll do the other side in a second. So make sure that the whole fish is covered completely and we're going to just get that into that grooves that we cut in early on, yeah? We got to pop that in there. Give it a nice healthy massage on the inside as well. You can get some of that. Pop that on the inside. Turn him over. Same thing goes for the other side. Nice, just make sure you empty all of that good flavors. Pop it on there. Massage it in nicely. Cover the eyes. Get the slits inside. Fill those slits in nicely. Get all the flavors inside to penetrate right through. Like I said, you don't have to cut the fish right through to the bone. You can use filleted fish as well. I prefer doing this. It's a more attractive on the plate. So, and of course, people eat with the eyes. Yeah, we all eat with the eyes. It's got to look good before you taste it. If it doesn't look good, then you're not going to taste it, right? We all know that. So, we're going to rub that in. Make sure everything is, the slits are filled nicely. As I said earlier on, so we have the lemon juice, the acidity from the lemon juice and the tamarind will penetrate the actual flesh of the fish. So that is partly why it's there. Other than flavor, it also helps penetrate. We're going to rub that on the inside. So nothing goes to waste. Even these little bits that's left, we're going to pop it in there. As you can check the inside of this fish, you'll see that we're rubbing it on all over the place. Yeah, you can, well covered, well smothered in this masala, in this flavors, the powders, the ginger and garlic paste, the black pepper, everything lovely, beautifully covered. The next step of this is we're going to then, now, we are going to seal. So sealing is just basically giving it a quick pan fry. Again, pan fried vegetable fat. I'm going to be using margarine. Yes, butter is beautiful. We all know that. But it is not the healthiest option. So we're going to pan fry this with a little bit of margarine, which again I mentioned is not without cholesterol but less. All about the quantity intake. So we're going to pan fry this just quickly, get a nice color on the outside, and then we're going to pop it in the oven. This way of cooking, baking in the oven is much healthier than frying it in deep fried oil in the pan. Yes, there is value to that, that's one thing. But this, with regards to cholesterol, is a much healthier way to go. What we're going to do is now we're going to heat up the pan and we're going to get that going nice. We're going to put in some unsaturated vegetable margarine, vegetable oil, margarine, yeah. We're going to mix that with some a blended olive oil, so blended canola and olive oil blend, also supported by the Heart and Stroke Foundation of South Africa. There's lots of products in the market at the moment you could find with their logo on it. Look for it, it will help. Like I said, it's not going to save your life today, but it will give you many more years moving forward. Right, so I'm going to get that pan going. We're going to pop in some oil. Then we're going to pop in some margarine. As you can see, it is not deep fried, yeah? We're going to glaze the pan with oil. It is not a lot. It looks a lot, but it is not. Trust me. I'm going to then, if it is too much, you can always throw some out. In fact, that is not too much. That is just right. So again, we want a medium to high heat. We're going to quick seal. It is not going to cook in the pan completely. There we go. We're going to quick seal it, medium to high heat. We're going to turn over, get some color going. Once the color is done, we're going to pop it in straight into the oven where it's going to bake for a couple of minutes. You're probably looking at about 15 to 20 minutes on about 220. Yeah? Like I said, you don't need a fancy oven. You can do it with the basic ovens at home. This also can be done on coals. Beautiful on a fire, but your heat needs to be turned down. So your coals is going to cool down a bit. Yeah? So you keep it low to medium heat. But everything else stays the same. The flavors, the spices, the way you apply the spices, everything stays the same. So we're going to give that a second and we're going to turn him over. There we go. That's where you want to be, right there. Those colors, those flavors, the little crispy ends, that is exactly what you want. Okay. We're going to take the leftover rub that we had. We're going to apply some to those little patches where the skin came off, and again, pop it into those slits. Get them nice and deep inside there. That's what you want. Absolutely lovely. Beautiful colors, beautiful flavors. Okay, let's see what the other side looks like. Oh, beautiful. Exactly what you want, yeah? So that was maybe a minute on either side, not even, yeah? Again, a bigger fish will cook for longer. We're going to pop that on the tray. Turn that off for a second. Right now, we're going to have a look at this. So the point of the pan fry is to get some nice textures, colors, give it a seal. Also, the heat will open up the masalas, the flavors, the coriander. Everything will just open up nicely and combine and join together with the fish, the flavors, the aroma. I wish you could smell this right now. This is absolutely brilliant. This is exactly what I'm talking about. You can have a beautiful looking, healthy, colorful meal that is not extra work. If I can do it, you can do it. So it's easy to make, right? So I'm gonna pop this into the oven. We're gonna give it a couple of minutes and we'll be back. So what I'm gonna do now, while the fish is in the oven, I'm gonna make a basic tomato sauce just to go with the fish, and otherwise it'll be a bit too dry. So we're gonna serve it with a flatbread. So you're gonna have the fish and flatbread with a basic tomato sauce, a little bit of chili. I like spicy. Spicy is always good. So what I'm gonna do is nothing too complicated. Again, you can do this at home. Another easy sauce you could do, serve the sauce with pasta, with loads of different stuff, yeah. But for today we do a basic one just to accompany the fish. Again, I'm using the canola and olive oil combination, yeah. Very little, just the glaze, nothing major. The onions are not going to be floating in the sauce. So we're going to pop in some onions. It's a nice rustic, chunky tomato sauce. Nothing too smooth or too blended or too perfect. Just a basic, chunky, rough, wholesome tomato sauce, yeah? Like I said, it's just to accompany the fish. So we'll give that a second. We're going to get it nice and light and brown. Just a quick little saute going, nothing too serious. And we're going to pop some chopped canned tomatoes. You can use fresh if you want to. It'll cook a little bit longer. I'm just using a can of chopped tomatoes. Like I said, nothing too complicated or too difficult. So we're going to give this a second, just to brown up nicely. So we got that a little bit brown. Onions are sweating nicely. It's nice and soft, translucent. Got a little bit of brown color, not too much. We're now going to pop in some of those chopped tomatoes. With that chopped tomatoes, I'm going to pop in some garlic, a teaspoon of garlic. I'm going to give that a little mix. I'm also going to pop in some puree chili. This is just the basic chili we found in the market. Nothing too major. There's 3 different types of chilies, different flavors, different strengths, beautiful tasting, nice color. So we're going to pop some of that in there. Like I said, this is optional, but spicy is always good. Not everybody likes it, but if you do, little puree. You can put fresh chopped chilies in, not a problem. It also looks very nice. Nice, a variety of different colors, green, chopped chili into the sauce. I'm going to give that a simmer for a second. I'm going to pop some salt and pepper in there, and then we'll also pop some of the coriander. So just some pepper. Look, don't put too much salt in. Tomato as it is a salty, and you have salt, pepper, and loads of flavors on the fish as well. So you don't want to over season this because it's just going to be too much. Your main flavors and seasoning is on your fish. This is just here to support that. A slight simmer going. We're going to let that go for 5 or 10 minutes. Not even 10, probably about 8 minutes. What we're going to do with the fish is, right, once the fish comes out of the oven, we're going to plate it. This can be served with many things. Fish and chips is always the best. It's always the favorite. But chips doesn't have to be the deep fried stuff you find all over the place with soaked in saturated fats. Clogs up your arteries. Don't need that. You can get much better, much more flavorful options. So what you could do is you take your normal potato, you cut it into wedges, water in the pot, put some salt in, and you boil them. It comes out like that. Plain simple, leave the skin on, lots of nutrition, lots of nutrients, very healthy, keep the skin on. Plain boiled potato, very simple. Pop it in a tray, you sprinkle some salt on, some pepper, a little bit of paprika, you take a little bit of olive oil. For this much potato you need maybe 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Toss it around, get it nicely coated in oil, nice and glazed, pop it in the oven. Pop it on 200, takes you probably, in one of these ovens, 30 minutes. You got one of those fancy ovens with the fans, 15 minutes. So this fish has been in the oven for 20 minutes on 220. Look at that flavors, look at the colors. If you can notice, if you see, look at the water, the milk and the water just popping out there. Now you see that? Ooh, that's where you want to be. Right there is where you want to be. Absolutely juicy, flavors, moist, absolutely brilliant. The colors, the textures, that is just a good looking fish right there. So that's 20 minutes in the oven. Like I said, a plain normal oven. You can put that on the fire to look even better, just as good, yeah? So what we're going to do now is we're going to take the tomato sauce that we made early on, the plain basic tomato sauce. We're going to just quickly finish that up. We're going to pop some fresh coriander into that. We're just going to let that heat up for a second. Just give that a second, we'll be there now. So the potatoes we spoke about early on, these ones, the plain boiled potatoes, salted water, cut into wedges, skin on, loads of nutrition. What we did with that is, like I said, put salt, pepper, paprika, toss in a little bit of oil, we pop it into the oven for about 20 minutes, 30 minutes, depending on what kind of oven you have. Beautifully done, crispy, lots of texture, lots of nice burnt little edges. Ooh, listen to that. I don't know if you can hear that, but it is absolutely brilliant. Look at this. Look at that. Oh, good Lord, that is where you want to be right there. That is what you want to eat. That is a crispy potato wedge. That is better than chips. Just need salt, pepper, paprika, the oven, and you're good to go. You've got good meal, good food, good flavors. So we're going to heat this up. Put a little bit of water into that. Looks a bit dry there, so just get it flowing a bit. Basic onion, tomatoes, garlic, little bit of chili. I use the puree chili, but you can use fresh chopped chilies. Some dhania, coriander or cilantro, whatever you call it, depending on where you are. So we're going to take this over, we're going to put it on the plate, we're going to plate the fish, we're going to put the potatoes in together, we're going to put it together for you, and we'll be right back to show you what it looks like. Okay, so right now we're putting all this together. Potatoes are hot, but after a couple of years your fingers get used to the burn. So we put some parsley on that. So what we're going to do is we got that, we have that, we're going to put some parsley on, just for a bit of color, nothing too major. Again, look at those beautifully crisp potato wedges. I mean, you can't get better than that. I mean, honestly, no oil. If you're going to have a look at it, you can see the texture, the crispness. No oils, it is absolutely beautiful, brilliant. So with that, we're going to serve some flatbread, nothing major, 2 or 3 per person is perfectly fine. It's normal flatbread, you can buy this in the shops, you could make it yourself, you could use pastry or there's many different ways. You could use whole wheat flour or plain white flour. So that's it for us. We've done our demonstration. I hope it was easy enough. I tried to make it as uncomplicated as possible, but like I said, you've seen what I've done, step by step. No big kitchen, no lots of chefs, just myself and Jean-Pierre Gous, our media guru. What we did was, for the duration of what you just seen now, we had a masala rubbed silver, which is the fish, a basic tomato sauce with some dhania in it, beautifully roasted in the oven, minimal oils, and what oils we did use was vegetable, unsaturated fats and oils. Beautifully crisp roasted potato wedges, lots of texture, lots of flavors, very easy to make. A slight salad with a bit of fresh lemon squeeze over it for color, lots of flavors in there as well, and some flatbread. Nothing complicated, very easy, very simple, very colorful, a beautiful looking, a beautiful tasting meal. Healthy eating does not have to be boring. It does not have to be expensive. It's easy. If I can do it, you can do it. Thank you very much, guys. From myself, Seven Pillay, and Jean-Pierre Gous, our media guru, and on behalf of the Heart and Stroke Foundation of South Africa, I hope this helped. I hope you can keep in mind everything we mentioned. I thank you.